Hello, friends. It's Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. For our Bible today, I would just like to review your memory verse with you. We're going to do a little finger play, and then I have a story to read to you about what it's going to be like to be with God or to be with Jesus. The book is called If Jesus Walked Beside Me. When we get to heaven, we will walk beside Jesus. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to the most. And sometimes I even wonder, what will that be like? What will it be like to walk next to Jesus, my best friend? All right. Also, if you drew a picture in your journal yesterday and about what you want to do in heaven and you haven't shared that on Facebook, have mom and dad take a picture of your journal page and put it on our Facebook group so that you can look at each other's journal pages. It'll be fun to get on your mom and dad's phone and look at what other people wrote about what they would like to do in heaven someday. All right, I'll read our memory verse. It's from John 14, 1 through 3. It says, "Don't be worried. You believe in God. Believe also in me." Who's talking? That's right, Jesus is talking. "In my Father's house, there's room for all who want to come. If that weren't so, I would have told you. I'm going back to get things ready for you. I promise to come again and take you home soon so that you can be where I am." Jesus has been wanting us to be with him ever since we have been separated. When Adam and Eve sinned in the garden and they had to leave the garden and leave God's presence, God's heart was broken. And ever since the beginning of time, he's been wanting to be together with us again. So I know that I can trust the word from the Bible. I know that if he tells us that he is preparing a place for us in heaven, we can be sure he is. We can trust him. And if he tells us he wants to take us home with him again and be with us, we can trust him that he'll keep his promise. I'm excited about that. I can't imagine what it will be like to walk beside Jesus in heaven someday. All right. There's a little finger play and a poem in my teacher's book that I'd like to do with you today. I'll read it to you first, and then we can work on the actions together. It says, "When Jesus comes, this is the way the cloud will come down. This is the way the angels will fly. This is the way the trumpets will sound when Jesus comes from heaven on high." All right. When we say the line, "This is the way the cloud will come down," I want you to put your hands together, and we're going to raise them up high, and we're going to lower them. This is the way the cloud will come down. Let's do it again. This is the way the cloud will come down. Now I want you to make like wings. This is the way the angels will fly. Then I want you to put your thumbs together like this, make like a trumpet. Doot, 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 doot. This is the way the trumpets will sound when Jesus comes from heaven on high. Are you ready? Let's try it. This is the way the cloud will come down. This is the way the angels will fly. This is the way the trumpet will sound when Jesus comes from heaven on high. Good job. Let's try it one more time. This is the way the cloud will come down. This is the way the angels will fly. This is the way the trumpets will sound when Jesus comes from heaven on high. Good job, friends. All right, I'm going to read "If Jesus Walked Beside Me." If Jesus walked beside me, then I'd grow so brave and strong. I'd feel his peace and comfort, his presence all day long. And when I'd hear the coach say, "Swing!" when I stood up at bat, if Jesus walked beside me, then I'd not be scared of that. I'd turn my eyes to Jesus, who'd say, "Do the best you can." And I'd hit the ball so hard it would fly to China or Japan. He'd help me ride my brand new bike, the one that made me fall. And he'd say, "Now you can do it, friend. Believe you can," he'd call. I'd rocket past the square in town and never once fall down. I'd look to Jesus, hold on tight, and zip on through the town. If other children called me names, I wouldn't run away. I'd turn to meet them face to face. And this is what I'd say. It's times you met my greatest friend, who helps me all day through. If you'd take Jesus as your friend, he'd do the same for you. Jesus changes us, doesn't he? When he becomes our best friend, he changes our hearts. On days when I'd feel very sick, too ill to run and play, I'd cling to Jesus by my side. He'd hold me through the day. I'd feel his peace and comfort as his hand brushed through my hair. I'd sense a joy from deep inside, just knowing he was there. If Jesus walked beside me through a gusty wind or storm, I wouldn't shake and tremble, 'cause he'd keep me safe and warm. Did anyone hear that thunder this last weekend on Saturday night? It went boom. My family heard the thunder. I just can't get that figure 8, no matter how I try. With Jesus here to comfort me, I wouldn't even cry. He'd say, "I want to hear your cares, your problems, your concerns. Together we will make it through life's toughest twists and turns." They're talking about making a figure 8 on the ice in ice skates. At night, I'd snuggle into bed beneath the moonlight glow. I'd give a hug to Jesus, and I'd wish he'd never go. He'd say, "I'm always by your side to guide you through your day. I always hear you when you call. I'm just a prayer away." There's many nights, kids, that I will fall asleep talking to Jesus. I'll lay my head on the pillow and the lights will be off and I'm almost asleep and I just start to pray. Sometimes I tell him how my day went. I might share something that's bothering me or something bad that had happened to me and I felt bad about or sad about. I even sometimes just tell him thank you. Thank you for the blessings in my day. If Jesus walked beside me, I have told you what I'd do. Now tell me what you'll do if Jesus walks beside you. In heaven, that's what it will be like, won't it? He'll walk beside us. I like this book. It gave me lots of pictures in my mind of what it would be like to walk with Jesus throughout my day. And it's usually a peace-filled day, isn't it? A joy-filled day. Any day with Jesus is a good day. Keep him in your hearts, kiddos. Keep him as your best friend. Say yes to Jesus. I can't wait to be in heaven with him someday. I love you. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you later.